Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sunday. Yeah, Sunday. Sunday the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you. How would they do it without the... Oh God, I can't do it. Never mind. That wasn't Star Wars, that was Star Trek, wasn't it? Oh God. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's the afternoon. It is. Oh, it's nearly 3:25 on Sunday, the 4th of May. And I'm a bit early today. I have shut the kits downstairs and come up to the craft room because I want to put as much distance between me and Bambi at the moment as I possibly can because she is driving me bananas. Anywho, so I've come up here with my cuppa and some stitching to show you, and we'll see how we go. So we'll crack on, shall we? We'll start off with 5 and 5. So when I last saw you, I was working on Spring Awakenings, which I didn't finish off. If I can just find it, there it is. I had said that after I spoke to you, I was going to try and finish off what was left of that part of the design, and unfortunately I didn't get there. I've been having an awful lot of headaches lately, no idea why. I've only been doing bits of stitching here and there, but this is where I left it, and this is where I will pick it up, which will be Tuesday, I think, because that's the day that I change to the second of my 5 and 5. The first of my 5 and 5 I was working on yesterday when I went up to Knit and Natter. See the ladies up there in the lovely little village of Silsden. I've been going to that Knit and Natter for, I don't know how long. It's been several years now, and I'm probably the most far travelled out of all of them. We fell across them by accident on a gala week that a friend of mine and I had gone up for, and we'd bought tickets for the duck race, but we wanted to pop into the church and see what was going on in there, and discovered them all sitting, knitting and crocheting up at the back end of the church. And they invited us to join us, so we did, after we'd been to the duck race and got ourselves some lunch, and then we went back again. And I've been going ever since, and there's such nice ladies, and it's a nice fit. We all get on really well together, and we just chat away, and I normally go to the baker's in Saltaire and take some stuff along with me, which always goes down very well. Yesterday it was jam tarts, which did go down very well. Yeah, it's just, I always go on the first Saturday of the month. We normally do it twice a month, but depending on what else I'm doing, I can't always make the second week. I think I'm going to be able to make it this time. I'm not entirely sure. I think it might clash with something else, but I'm sure Alison will remind us when she gets there. My first 5 and 5 every month is always my small, and at the moment I'm working on the Blue Tits bookmark, which is so cute. They're so pretty. I adore Blue Tits. They're one of my favourite birds. Very cheeky. So the last time you saw this, I really hadn't done an awful lot, again because of headaches. I'd taken it along to the last knit natter I was at, and I think I put in about 5 stitches. I really didn't get on at all. But I made up for that yesterday despite a migraine. And you probably won't be able to see it, but I have. There we go, you can see it. So I've started the stalk of the tree. Stalk. Trees don't have stalk, they have branches. So, so I started again on the branch of the tree, and I've done that little flower there to match this one down here. It will need back stitched, and then some long stitch and some French knots going in there, but they'll go in at the end. So I did that, the flower, and I've done the border coming up here as well. So I'm really pleased with how this is coming on. And it's going to look gorgeous when all the French knots and stuff go in. I like doing, I know a lot of people swap out French knots for seed beads. But I like French knots. And considering that I stitch in hand, I've become quite adept at them. And if I don't like the way it's sitting, I just pull it out and do it again until I get it right. So that is 5 and 5 that I worked on yesterday. Now, what else I've got to show you? I'll just put that in there like that. Nice little pouch I've got for it. Very handy. Back in the days when the magazines gave you a half decent free gift, even though it wasn't entirely free. There you go. It's nice and handy. Okay, so that was the first one of this month's 5 and 5. As I said, the second one will be Spring Awakenings. No, it won't be. It will be Winter Sampler. And then it will be Spring Awakenings. Now, or will it? Do you know, I would have to look and see, and I've left my diary downstairs. I'm trying to remember what order I do them in. Hang on a sec. Right, okay, so we have the bookmark. Then it's the Spring Sampler, the Little House Needleworks one, which I didn't get finished last month, but I am hoping to finish this month, especially as I've got 2 of the others in the series now. Then it is Winter Sampler, then it is Spring Awakenings, and then it is the Roll the Dice project. So, Spring Awakenings, you've seen. So, I suppose there's no other 5 and 5s to show you. So, it will be Roll the Dice, which last month was Yoda's Hill. There we go. Now I am here and I wanted to get that tree finished because I've been working on it for a while, and I have said before that I sometimes find it quite hard to get on with this for various reasons. One of the most obvious ones is because it's 1/1 on 28 counts. However, I've not only finished the tree, but I've stitched the first little girl on the sled. Look at that. So pleased that I've got the tree finished. Quite an elegant tree, isn't it? And the shading underneath, although I'd taken it into the office with me for crafting day on, what day was I in? Wednesday. I was supposed to be in on Thursday, but I changed it to Wednesday because the other girls couldn't be there. And I was stitching away quite merrily, and just before we started going back to our desks, I realised that I'd picked up the white instead of the grey. So when I got home on Wednesday night, I had to frog what I'd done in the office, which I wasn't overly happy about, but hey ho. So the shading was done in the correct colour eventually, and then I just kept going and I did the little girl. And I'm really pleased with how it's looking. I am so pleased that I finally got over that bit of tree and I can get on. And the little girls, they do stitch up very quickly, because they're basically just two colours. And then obviously there's the sled, and I think there's a dog as well involved. And then I can start moving down a little bit further. So I do feel as if I've sort of picked up with this again, and I am getting on with it. So that was last month's Roll the Dice. So we will put this back in here. Pop that in there. And again, this, and I've had this for years. This was another free gift with one of the magazines many, many years ago. And it's got the two pockets. It's got the main pocket there, and it's got a smaller pocket at the front, which I've got spare fabric in, and I keep the picture that I'm working on in there as well, and everything else fits in there. So there we go. Right then, so that was that Roll the Dice. So those of you who may have watched, I did a little short on Thursday afternoon out in the garden while it was still quite nice. The weather was still very warm. Not so today. It's very windy today. I rolled the dice, and number 10 was the one that came out. And my number 10 is Bear Tree Forest. And I just adore this. I absolutely love it. There are 8 colours in it. 4 DMC, 2 Gast and 2 Classic Colourworks. I've got most of the DMC all bar one, and I've got one of the Gast threads, so I have to get the other side. We'll be doing an order. In fact, I might do it today, and hopefully if they get it out tomorrow, it'll arrive. Well, no, it won't get picked up tomorrow. It's a bank holiday, so it'll probably be Wednesday before it arrives. But it'll be here in time for me to start working on it later in the month. But I absolutely adore it. The first time I saw it, I was just like, I've just got to do that. And it's not just got bears, but if I hold it up a bit closer. In fact, let me take the front sheet out. That might be easier. Then you're not going to get the glare, because we can't have glare. Not on a Sunday. Glare's not allowed on a Sunday. That's a rule that I've just made up, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, put that out. There we go. So, obviously, we've got our 3 bears up here. Down here, we have got 2 little birds who I think might be cardinals. And then we've got squirrels either side. Some acorns. There's a snowman there as well. So there's loads going on. And it's just lovely. So I'm really looking forward to getting this started. Just put that back in there like that. And fabric. Now they've suggested a linen from Weeks Dye Works called Tin Roof. However, I've got some linen of my own, haven't I? Because we have this linen, which I am using for the sampler series, and I've got all this at the side. I'm only going to use another little bit lengthwise on that for the summer one. So I've literally got just under half of that left. So I think Bare Tree Forest will fit on there very nicely. And it's antique ivory. And again, it's 28 count linen. So I think that is going to be, that'll fit on there really nicely, won't it? So I've got the fabric, I've got most of the threads, I'm good to go. I think that's a win-win. So, okay, I'll put that back in there. So that is my next roll the dice. Put this in here. So I think Di's going to mention that I'm still looking for the autumn. I think it's the autumn one that I wasn't able to get when we were up at the stitching shop last month. No, was it March? I can't remember. It's been so. The weeks are just going past. So yeah, I think it is autumn. So because I've got summer and I've got winter. So she's going to mention to Mary, and when it comes in, they'll let me know, and then I can get it ordered. So that'll be good, and I'll have all four. Right, what else can I show you? Just looking, I'm surrounded by stuff, and I'm like, what can I show you? I don't know. I was watching Stuart's Flosstube from last week. I don't think he's put today's up yet. He was talking about he'd got some new fabrics, which were lovely. And I was thinking, because when Di was here in March, and she hadn't seen the fabrics that I had got from my friend Diane at work, and so I was showing them, and she was looking, going through, oh, project bag, and I was like, yeah, that's all very well, but I need to learn how to put a zip in first, because my gran was very good. She taught me how to sew on the treadle singer that we had, or she had, when she moved. It came to live in our house. And I used to have curtains when I moved down to Birmingham and I bought my first flat. The curtains I had hanging at the living room window were curtains that she had made for my mum when mum and dad got, I think it was when they moved up to the house, when my brother was about 6 months old, and she made the curtains for there. And then I got them, and I had them hanging in my little flat when I bought it. And she showed me how to, do hems and all the rest of it. The only thing she didn't show me how to do was how to put in a zip. So I do have a zip lying around because my quilting group up at Barleycraft Fabrics in Saltaire, one of the Christmases, we had like a little lucky dip that Leslie had done for us, and I got this zip in mine. It was a navy zip, and I looked at it and I thought, I'm looking at it thinking, I don't know how to put a zip in, but I need to learn, don't I? So cue YouTube tutorials. I will sit there and I will sort it out. And I have got, as Di was saying, I've got so many beautiful fabrics. In fact, let me, I don't know, I'm too scared to do that in case I do it wrong. Bear with. They're over here. Yeah, because I was putting them away. Yeah. I've been putting them into bags. Sort of themed bags, if you like. So this one is full of polka dots and spots. And there's some gorgeous fabrics in there. I love that. That one is just beautiful. And there's a lovely red one there as well. See, I'm pulling them all out now. This is a bad idea. Oh, there's a really nice deep pink there. Look at that. Look, oops, dropped it there. Isn't that lovely? Really deep pink. It shows a bit lighter, but trust me, it's a deeper pink than it shows there. These could all be made into project bags, and I could just practice. I'd probably just do them for myself. I'm not going to be selling them. I'm not that good yet, but I've got spots, I've got stripes, I've got flowers, I've got animals. There's stuff through in the other room that has got. I'll go and show you. Here we go. I'm back. Don't panic. Where is it? There it is. Look at that. Sausage dogs. Isn't that adorable? There's those. There's this lovely birds. It'll all need irons before it gets anything done with it. What else have we got in there? We've got, oh, there's the bees. Well, I bought them myself. That's unicorns. There's, heaven's sake, look at these. Look as if they're upside down. Hang on, put them up the right way. Some of them are the right way and some of them are the wrong way. Zebras, giraffes, elephants, hippos, alligators, and there might be crocodiles, you never know. There's an emu there. Palm trees. There's absolutely loads. There's teddy bears. There's, what else is there? Put that up there as well. Hopefully it won't all fall into my cup of tea. Yeah, there's teddies, rabbits, oh, hefflumps. There's chickens, there's flamingos, oh, there's hedgehogs. Now look at that. Isn't that adorable? That would make the most gorgeous little project bag, I think. So yeah, there's absolutely loads, and not just for project bags, but a lot of the florals will probably get made into cushions for the little the Country Cottage Needlework series that I'm doing of the little shops. Just got all these. I really need to. And I know I said this the last time we were up here in the craft room. I need to spend more time in here with the sewing machine, getting to know it really, really well, and start doing stuff. Because I've made up cushions before. I've got a patchwork cushion over there that I made. I've got a cushion downstairs which I stitched. And my friend's sister put it together for me. But she didn't do an awfully brilliant job of it, so I would like to, at the time I was very grateful. But when I look at it now, I think now it needs the the state of the putting together sort of detracts from the actual cushion itself. So I would like to um, sort that out and do it properly, if you like. It's got a lovely bit of cording all the way around it, which I bought specifically to pick up the colours. It's tulips and iris, so it's pink and green and sort of cream on the binder, on the cording, and it just picks up the pinks and the greens out of the design really, really well. So I think when I get myself a bit more able to do things like putting in zips, and I've got that zip sitting in my workbox, which, you know, I can practice on spare bits of fabric, see if I can get it sorted, and then once I'm comfortable with doing it, I can just go, right, let's go, let's get this started. Because I'm running out of storage space, to be honest, with all the fabrics that I've now got, as well as all these different wools that I've got. So if I was to move or use up some of them, then all to the good. And if I use them up for making project bags to put my own projects in, even better. Because it's a nice way of looking after your cross-stitch stuff, to actually have it in a bag that either someone else has made or you've made yourself, and it's nice and safe in there. It's safe from accidental spills or anything like that, which is the main thing. Putting vinyl windows in at the front is a whole different story. I'm not even going to go there. But I think I'd like to start simple. Have I got one here to hand? Yes, I have. Whoops. So, right, this was one that I bought from Stuart when I was up at the Scottish retreat. So he obviously has got the vinyl front in there, which is a little bit of a bridge too far for me by any stretch of the imagination at the moment. But I would like to think I would, figure out through watching Flosstube, which is I know how he did it, to get the zip in there, and then figure out the rest. So watch this space. I will keep you updated on this, because as I say, it is something that I really want to do. I'm not even sure what that is. Oh yeah, no, it is. Ignore me. But yeah, I've got all of this. It does need to be used, and of course, when Diane gave it to me, she said, "Will you use it?" I went, "Oh yeah, of course I will." It's all still sitting here, isn't it? On the wool front, my crafting group at work has been invited to take part in a thing that we're doing this month. It's called Learning at Work, and we do it every year. Most of it is around tutorials about how to make you better at what you do in your job, type of thing. Little shortcuts and how to get around various different programs that we use, type of thing. But they do have other little classes that will, that are just outside the box a bit, not a government department would normally do, if you like. So there's somebody that runs chair yoga, which I've joined in before, and it was good fun. But I forgot about it, so I wasn't totally prepared. But I will make sure that I am this time around. But they have asked us to do a couple of crafting sessions. So it runs for a week. It starts a week on Monday, and we have got a slot on the Tuesday morning and on the Thursday afternoon. So I will be going into our Bradford office on the Tuesday morning to run that one because I'm closer to Bradford, and the others in the group, it would be more difficult for them to get there, especially the ones that live down in Derbyshire. Um, so I don't mind about that. I know a lot of people in the Bradford office. I've worked with them a lot. So hopefully we will get some sign-ups from that. So I have got two tubs, and I'm not going to show you them because they've got piles of stuff on them at the moment. Um, but we've got a smaller tub and then a larger tub. The other one is under the bed through in a spare room. And they're full of wool that was donated to us when we ran the crafting group in our Shipley office. So one of these tubs will go in and will stay in the office because we're hoping to have storage for it pretty soon. And we also have a supply of knitting needles, crochet hooks, and some little cross stitch kits as well, little card kits and things, which will be good starting points for people that want to learn. So that one, I think that is the smaller one. That one is going to go into Bradford with me, and the other one is going to go into Leeds. And the hope is that not only will we get quite a lot of interest in it, but Maxine has been saying it would be really good if we could have a group in Bradford. And I thought, well, this would be an ideal opportunity to try and get one started, and we will give them all the support that we can from Leeds, but we can give them the bare bones of how to run it, and just find somewhere that preferably you don't need to book. I mean, where we sit, we don't need to book it, because quite often getting a meeting room in the Leeds office is it's just you can't basically. Um, so if we can get something up and running with them, they can join in virtually with us when we do our sessions in Leeds once a week. And then if the day doesn't suit them, well, they can do their own thing, and we can join in with them. So as I say, I'm doing the Tuesday. I'm going into the Bradford office. I had a conversation with my team leader on Friday, who told me that because I get access to work, it is for me getting to the Leeds office. And she said, "So how are you going to get to Bradford?" And I said, "Well, I'll get a taxi there." And she said, "Well, who's going to pay for it?" I went, "I will." And she went, "Oh," and she said, and then she came back and she said, "Well, because we pay you access to work to go into the Leeds office, will require you to go into Leeds as well, which means I'm going to be in the office 2 days that week, which is really going to wear me out." But she said, "You don't need to go in the following week." And I thought, well, I don't know quite where they're coming from that, because it means that if I'm not going in that following week, they will have overpaid me the money that they give me for the access to work, so I will have to pay them some money back. But anyhow, I'm not going to argue the toss with them. If they don't want me to go in the following week, then fine. But the Thursday, we're going to have an open plan office, which is open at two ends, which means hopefully that people will be walking past, see what we're doing, and come in and go, "Oh, what are you up to?" We're on a floor that is not one of our floors, it's one of the other government departments. So we may drum up some interest from them for our own group, as well as some of the people that come along to the class as well. So fingers crossed it all goes to plan. The ladies at my knit and natter yesterday were very kind and gave me a whole load of crochet hooks that they had spare that we can use in the class. And I was thinking, even if we send them off with a ball of wool and a metal crochet hook, just to go home and practice, and maybe come back in the following week, dial in and say, right, what do I do now? That would be, it would make it all worthwhile, really, wouldn't it? I'm rambling on a bit here, aren't I? What else can I tell you? I don't know. It's I had a message yesterday from a lady who used to work with my Aunt Charlotte. I was at the funeral a few weeks ago. And she had worked in the hospital with my Aunt Charlotte. And then we discovered that we grew up in the same part of Glasgow and gone to the same high school. So it's quite a small world. So I had a bit of a chat with her yesterday on my way up to Knit Natter. And then Graham came in on it as well. So that was nice. I need to message him and Zoe and see how they're doing. I don't know what else I forgot to tell you. What time is it? We're at 36 minutes. I could do about 40 minutes, couldn't I? Yeah, I've not really got that much else on at the moment. I've got Women's Guild this coming Thursday, and according to the little card that tells you what's happening each month, this is all about the guide dogs. So I'm wondering if we might have some guide dog puppies in there. That would be really nice. So I'm looking forward to Thursday. I'm really enjoying going to the WI. I mean, I could always see, when my mum was in the Women's Guild, which is the Scottish version of the Women's Institute. And I was like, yeah, all right, off you go, off you pop, have a nice time, type of thing. But I think I got to the point that it was time, and I needed something else to do to get me out of the house. I go through to Wales normally about once a month. Sometimes it's a bit longer than that. It just depends what Di's doing, what I'm doing, and how the Cheshire meetings fall in in relation to that and other retreats or anything, holidays and stuff. Um, so, and I've got my knit natter about once a month, too, if I can make it. But apart from that, I'm not really out anywhere. So once a month now, I go to the WI, and I showed you what I was doing last month. I'd started that. It's just sitting up here actually. As you can see, I've not done any more with it. It's going to be a thistle, and probably up here there's going to be a Scottish saltire, and a wee dotted line heading up there shows the long road home. I don't have any idea when this is due to be finished, so it can go in the window. So I will find out hopefully this week, and then I can crack on with it. But I'm enjoying the talks that they've put on, and everybody is really nice. They're all so friendly, and they just chat away, and they're just really, really nice. And now that I'm a fully paid up member, I feel part of it. And I had said that to Di, that it's nice to actually go somewhere and be welcomed and made to feel a part of it. Um, and I know from experience and I know from listening to other people that they'll maybe go somewhere and not feel welcome at all and not go back, um, which I think is a shame. But some people just aren't as welcoming as others are, I suppose. Um, what else can I tell you? Oh, yes, the bookshelf. Um, I know I kept saying that I was going to try those frames that I have up here. I've got three, two are the same, and one is a slightly different um, design. Both lovely. The the other one, the second one, is quite sort of antique-y. It's a very unusual design. Both of them are too small for the bookshelf, so it is going to have to be um, framed professionally. So I can feel a little jaunt up to Ripon coming on at some point in the future. Sam, come up and see your lovely man in the market and see what you can do for me as far as framing goes, because I would really like to get that one up on the wall, um, and just have a fully finished off object for the first time in I don't know how long. Just noticed a thread line on the floor there. So yeah, that might be my next little jaunt, apart from going through to the Cheshire stitching day, which is, I think it's Saturday the 24th. My Kindle is under there. Cupboard. It's got loads of stuff on top of it, so I can't get to see it, and my diary's downstairs. I think it is Saturday 24th. I'm sure someone will correct me if it's not. Um, but yeah, and it's a bank holiday weekend. It's the next bank holiday after this one, so that will be good to get through, and see all the girls through in Cheshire, because I always have great fun with them, and I've got a little band of good friends that I've made through there. You all know who you are. Hi, girls. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And to getting some stitching done. So I probably, in fact, I know I will be working on Bear Tree Forest that weekend. So we'll see how far I get with it. Um, and yeah, I think that's about all she wrote. Don't think I've got anything else to show you. If I've forgotten anything that I promised to show you, sorry, my leg's going off. If I've forgotten anything that I promised to show you, please shout at me in the comments, and I will make sure that I do it in 2 weeks' time. And I will hopefully maybe have an almost finish with the blue tits. I'll see how I get on for the rest of today and tomorrow. I've got some tennis to be watching later on today. Come on, Jack. And then I don't think there's anything until Wednesday, and that's Rome. The Rome Masters are starting then. So another week of tennis. Woohoo! Can't wait. So yeah, we're nearly at 45 minutes, so I will draw this to a nice gentle close, and I will see you all in 2 weeks' time. And if this is, that'll be 14 days, so that'll be about the 18th. So it will be the weekend. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, it'll be the weekend before I go through to Wales. So I will see you all then, and I'm going to go in and shut my leg up and go and make myself some lunch, I think. And I will see you all later on. Have a lovely day for the rest of the day, and enjoy your stitching. And thank you so much for all the comments and everything. It really means a lot to me that so many of you are watching and want to engage in conversation about all the stuff that I'm working on. So thank you very much from the bottom of my little heart. Thank you, and I will see you. Oh, it stopped. No, yeah, it stopped. Great. So I shall see you all later. Tatty bye.